Welcome to the show. I'm Sherri Horner, your host at Health Fitness Broadcast. I would like to invite everyone to join our team if you are a health or fitness professional and you would like to contribute to our show. We would love to have you. There's a contact link below. But today our guest is Master Trainer Phil Ross, who is an RKC Master Trainer and 8th degree black belt and body weight specialist. Phil, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited when people come back because it's been a few years and we met in 2005, I think,
I think it
or
might have
six.
been even earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around there, at least.
And we
Yeah,
did
at
another
least.
interview in like 2008. And so
Yes.
we have to talk with you more often because you have so much going on. We're going to talk about kettlebell training today, not just kettlebell training, but kettlebell certifications.
Hmm.
And he is the kettlebell king. and so let's start with kettlebell training because
Okay.
it's not a fad. It's
No.
fairly new in the fitness industry,
Yes.
um, and it's here to stay. So you have not only mastered the art of training with it yourself, but training others to train their clients in
Yes.
kettlebell training. And then later we'll talk about all the videos that you have produced and are producing. So welcome to the show again.
Well, thank you, Sherri, and again, it's always a pleasure to see you, hear from you, speak with you, and I'm glad we've been able to continue this relationship over these years. It's dynamite. I'm glad to see that you got such a great following, and you're spreading the word about health and fitness to as many people as possible. So yeah, I got into the kettlebell training actually through Frank Shamrock, who was a five-time UFC world champion. I was at his place. We became friends, and he says, "Yeah, Phil, you're pretty strong into all this fitness stuff. How about these things?" And so he showed me the kettlebells, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And I started researching it. So that's why it's not really a new thing.
Right,
It's really old, but it's new here.
right.
If you look back though, back into the early 1900s, there are some photographs of some of the old gymnasiums with kettlebells in the corner, and you see some of the old strongmen hoisting up, these cannonballs with handles on them. Um, but yeah, now they're getting popularity because people are realizing the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, I know we were talking about, gosh, well, I'll lift weights. It's the same thing. Well, it's really not, because if you consider weight training and you see where it comes from, it basically comes from a couple of different sources. One of them is bodybuilding, which nothing wrong with it, but it's just making your body symmetrical, beautiful, and big. The other one is powerlifting, which the main goal of powerlifting is to be strong in the bench, the deadlift, and the squat.
Right.
Yes, is there some transference over to sport and translation to it? Yes, you're going to be stronger, but it doesn't necessarily help the sport. And then there's the Olympic lifts, which are probably the best, the most athletic type lifts, but they're very risky. I mean, the difference between doing a kettlebell snatch and an Olympic snatch are two different worlds. There's so much more risk involved in doing the Olympic lifting style. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you read that article, but a guy was doing a CrossFit workout and wound up snapping his spine. He's paralyzed from waist down, doing the overhead snatches for time.
Wow.
So there are dangers associated with that. One of the reasons that I like the kettlebell so much is because not only does it work in the sagittal plane, as does standard weight training, but you're also working the frontal and the transverse. So you're getting opposite sides of the body working at the same time, doing contralateral work, which is very similar to sport.
So now kettlebell really became more popular with men, but now there are programs for women and kids.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
can you tell us a
Uh,
little bit about that?
Sure. Women are realizing that, running on a treadmill for an hour and a half is not going to change the way their body looks. Okay. The good thing about the kettlebells is not only are you addressing your strength, you're addressing your flexibility, your mobility, athletic ability, and your cardio. So, gosh, how you doing your cardio with that? Well, I'll tell you what, you pop off, 100 swings, you'll be breathing heavy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Watching one of your videos, I watched you demonstrate some things, and I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted now from watching.
well, yeah, we do have a quite like you said, a surge in the women's training for kettlebells, and it's also very empowering.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, being strong is cool. And these women, a lot of these women for the first time being able to pick things up and feel really strong. They're building their bodies. I mean, I have this woman who is she's 40 years old, and I just included her in my recent blog. I just did one on the handstands.
Mhm.
Dirty Dozen move number 8.
Yeah,
Uh,
saw that picture. And there's going to be a link below how you can get in contact with Phil Ross, and you can see those photos. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
it's pretty cool stuff. And this woman, I mean, she has 4 kids. So her abdominals are completely stretched out. I mean, it was. Plus, she had some other health issues. Well, now I got her deadlift, and she's 125 pounds, 126, and she's repping 200 on the deadlift. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's pretty good.
And she just had her last kid less than a year and a half ago.
Wow.
And now she could hardly even do a crow stand. You know what a crow stand is? Yoga
Mhm.
crow
Oh,
stand.
yeah.
Okay, she would nose plant. Okay, 6 months ago. Now she's already doing handstands, but I have to support her. But she's up there
She gets there, yeah.
holding it, and
Yeah,
she's doing them on the wall, no problem now.
that's pretty awesome. So if you can, I want to mention your kids because
Yes.
you have
Okay.
3 kids
Yes.
and a lovely wife,
Yes.
Amy Bento Ross, and
Yes.
anyone in the fitness industry has experienced her workout DVDs. And
She's quite
your
good.
kids, yes, she's really good. And your kids are you have are they're now almost adults and
Well,
or are
yeah.
adults, very athletic. So your influence on them started at a young age. When I
Yes.
met your daughter, who is now 20, I think she was
Yes.
12, and they had been in martial arts. From when
Yes.
did you start your kids in martial arts, and when should anyone watching is thinking about martial arts or even the kettlebell training that you're
Mhm.
talking about,
Well,
when should they start with their children? What is too young, and is there
yes.
a too young
You
age?
know, Great question. And you know what? I wish it was just one answer, but there's not.
Okay.
These little guys, they don't come with manuals. So you have to figure out what works best for each child. And I'll illustrate this with the difference between my daughter and my son. My daughter, Nicole, she's the one who's 20 years old right now. She's got her RKC level 1. She's going for RKC 2, and honestly, she's going to blow it away. She's just ripping it up. Uh, she's only 5 foot 2.5, 106 pounds, strong as heck.
Wow.
Very determined, um, very intelligent. She's got a 4.0 again in college, so
Awesome.
she's doing great. And I started her at 2.5. She couldn't get enough of it. She loved it. Now, on the other hand, my son, okay, who is actually right now pretty much a beast. He's about 6'1", 220 pounds. He's one of the top rated shot putters in the country. He'll be going to Dartmouth, throwing for them next year. Um, and he really didn't want to start until he was like 5.
Okay.
And I
So
kind
you're
of forced him to. And then all of a sudden, I almost had to throw him
learn
onto
to
the
love it.
floor.
Yeah.
But then, all of a sudden he got into it and became a state champion as well. My daughter also a state champ. So the thing is that as far as the martial arts training, and I'm not just saying this because I have a martial arts school and I train kids. I train children, and I train the way that I do because I believe in it. I believe in it 100%, and I know that um, martial arts or gymnastics, swimming, they're all good for young kids. So whatever your child is into, they really need to do at least one of those.
Right. And
One
the
of those,
discipline that they gain in the martial arts,
and that's the big difference.
it goes throughout their whole life. So
Yep.
their grades
Yes.
improve. They're more
Yeah.
focused. Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I started training my little one. She's just turned 4. Um, you know, but I will tell you, so the jury's still out on her yet. We don't know what's happening. But she's got the good pedigree.
Yeah, she's
But I
going
will
to be
tell you
an
that
athlete.
both of my children scored well into the 2000s in their SATs. Both of them were honor roll students, high honor roll students, and going to, you know, great colleges.
Right.
So, you know,
Right, and not just your kids. I know anyone watching that has put their kids into martial arts,
yes.
they're shaking their head agreeing with you. Yes,
Yes,
yes, my
yes.
kids also.
I can't tell you how many kids have started here. Look, I'm not taking all the credit. It's just martial arts in general
It
leads to
does.
that because of the disciplined way of thinking. I have so many kids that are doctors, lawyers, uh, business moguls, you know, entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
and they've learned it from the discipline that they get in the martial arts.
Right.
And you know, if you even read a book by Pavel and Dan John called Easy Strength,
Hmm.
one of the major things they say for young athletes to do is martial arts.
Yes, I agree with that. Definitely.
You know, I mean, activities. It's not just an activity; it's a way of thinking and a lifestyle, and it translates to every other sport.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I want to talk about you've produced a lot of DVDs, and I
Hmm?
have one here. Actually, I have three. He signed it because I made him sign it. But one thing that you now this is the save program.
Hmm.
One thing that you did right on here is it's victory favors the
Prepared.
prepared. I
Part of
started to
my
say disciplined, but prepared. And that is really good. Do you have that written all over your studio
Yes.
in your training center? Yeah,
Yeah. It's right on
that
my
is really
it's on a poster on my wall in the studio.
yeah,
Victory favors the prepared.
that's true.
Um, you know, because if you are prepared, and it doesn't matter whatever you're going to do, be prepared.
Mhm.
And you know what? I have a little saying that when man plans, God laughs, but when man has a backup plan, he smiles.
Yes.
So if
Oh,
you're
okay.
always prepared
Right,
for the worst, then expect the best.
right. And if you're prepared, you won't fear the worst.
Yep, exactly.
um,
Because you know you have a backup plan.
so you have this, but you also have the kettlebell training videos.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I want to talk about the different ones that you have
Mhm,
produced for the general public. And of course,
mhm.
there'll be a link below if you want to contact Phil. But then after that, I want to ask you about the certifications for trainers. So,
Oh, you know what? I did forget to address one thing that you
mhm.
brought up. Training with kettlebells for the
Age,
different demographics,
yeah.
different age groups. Now, you know, according to orthopedic surgeons and so forth, you know, weight training, resistance training uh, below a certain age group is not good, and I agree with that 100%. Because what happens is if you're using more than half your body weight, the stress on the joints is, you know, very difficult.
Mhm.
One of the benefits to training with the kettlebell is that you can use a much lower weight and get a much better benefit. So therefore, reducing a lot of the stress on the joints. So a younger child can train. I mean, I've had four children that trained with me that became national champions in wrestling, and you know they were 10 years old. But again,
Awesome.
we were very conscious of the amount of weight that they used, and also did a lot of body weight training with them. So that's, you know, you have to really look at like what you're doing with the child and the amount of weight. And again, the kettlebell is far superior in that way because of the lower amount of weight. And you say, well, why does that happen? Well, if you look at the shape of the kettlebell, it's off center. Barbells, dumbbells, things like that, they have a unilateral distribution of weight,
Mhm.
whereas a kettlebell has an offset. So the center of gravity, or the COG, changes constantly through motion,
Yeah.
and the body has to recruit all the stabilizers in order to accomplish the movement. Therefore, it you can use a much lower amount of weight with even a better result.
Mhm. Okay, good point. So I did witness some clips of your DVDs for
Mhm.
kettlebell. Really awesome. So how many do you have for the
Okay.
general public to purchase?
Yeah. Well, right now, I just have the one is out, the advanced kettlebell workout. Um, and that was put out by Bayview. But on the horizon, something I've been working on actually for about 6 years. It's called the Kettlebell Workout Library. There'll be actually 104 workouts in it. Um, there's also a bodyweight section, and it comes with a full manual on every single workout.
Oh,
So you
nice.
have the manual and video representation, and there's also photographs, uh, about 20 pages of photographs of the different movements as well.
Oh, good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite a project. That's why it's taking so long.
Yeah.
There's going to be over 30 hours of video.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
going to be coming
that's
a
really good.
big block. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can use your whole life just doing this video, because it has a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and a specialty. And the
Oh,
specialty
nice.
includes Tabatas, includes work with sledgehammers, includes dynamic tension, obviously plyometrics, the Warriors Challenge workouts, so
And
forth.
and that would be great for either men or women, right?
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I train a lot of women here.
Yeah.
You know, a lot
Nice.
of love slinging those bells.
Nice.
And even though the certifications that I do, there's at least half women at them.
Yeah. So before we talk about that, I do want to mention that you're in North Jersey. You're
Yes,
still in the same place, Ho-Hocus?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hocus.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I have to get up there. I've been saying
you
that
have
for
to. It's
what, 10
awesome. You got to
years?
come. I'll take you
Almost 10 years.
to the Red Cedar.
Yeah, I have to get up there. And so your certifications, um, now you have them as always in your studio, but your certifications for trainers to be certified in kettlebell training,
Mhm.
there's something coming up in the future where they'll be able to do it no matter where they're at in the country.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's the thing. There's a couple things. One is a personal trainer can actually right now gain continuing education credits by logging on to the Leaders in Fitness. Um, it's a um, it's an organization that has different training units, and you can download it. It's almost 2 hour video on kettlebell training. There's a PDF that comes with that, as well as a test, so you can gain your credits without leaving your house. Now, it's not so much a certification,
Okay.
but as far as other certs go, I travel all over the world. I do them at I even do them at CrossFits in the city. I'm I have several of them booked. I'm doing one in Marlboro, level two. I'm doing in April. I'm doing another level one out in the city, and then I'm going to Boston at the end of February and doing a level one up to Brockton. It's really called the Boston RKC, but it's really located in Brockton. So I'll be up in Brockton, Massachusetts, doing a 3 day cert there.
Okay, so if anyone is a fitness facility owner and you would like Phil Ross to come to your city and coordinate a certification training for your trainers and
Hmm.
the trainers within your city, you can contact him. We'll have a link below. Um, we have a couple minutes, so I
Oh,
want
just
to ask. Oh,
before that the host facilities get paid too.
okay. Oh, nice.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a
They
plus.
treat the host. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do all my certifications through the RKC, and they 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 take care of the host facilities.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
a
a nice
good plus.
bonus.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay,
Yeah.
super. So we have a couple minutes. I wanted to see if you have a couple questions. I mean, not question, a couple tips. But before that, I want to make you promise that you will come back and we'll talk about body weight and some other workouts in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I'd
Now,
love to. Love to.
okay, last couple tips about kettlebells.
Okay.
Any not warnings, but anything you should be cautious about,
Okay.
anything that can help you progress to the next level,
Yes. Yeah.
anything tips.
Here's one of my things to be cautious of. You know, with any new type of training, you get a lot of people who just jump on the bandwagon. Okay. I got into kettlebell training because I believed in it and I thought it was great. Not to, you know, make colored bells and, crazy videos and so forth. Um, be careful what you see on YouTube. Okay. I know it's a great tool. I love it, but you have to be careful. Um, if you see somebody with running shoes on doing a kettlebell video, just move on to the next one. Okay.
Okay.
Go to, if you're going to start kettlebells, meet with, take some lessons with a certified trainer.
That's good.
And it's certified by a good organization. Research the organization, research the trainer, take your time, use the internet the right way. Don't just run around going on YouTube and looking at different workouts from people you don't even know anything about, because it's very dangerous. And again, that tip: if you see somebody with running shoes on doing kettlebells, just move on.
Okay. Okay, that's a good tip. Now, again, there'll be a link below so they can contact you through your website and they can see video clips. If you don't know what kettlebell training is, this would be a good place to go to see a video clip. And yeah, I guess that's it. If you like this information that Phil gave us, please like this video, share it with a friend, and become a subscriber and get more information. If you have a success story that you'd like to share, or if you're a health and fitness professional and you would like to join our team, that's your invitation, and there'll be a link below how to contact me. Phil Ross, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherri.
You're awesome at training people, and yeah, what can I say?
What I love.
Yeah. So, but you will come back, and we'll talk about
Absolutely.
other things.
Absolutely.
All right, super.
Sooner than later.
All right, sounds great. Thanks. It's time for us
Thanks,
to sign off. Thanks, Phil Ross.
Bye bye.